Hmm. So let's use that as the segue to receive love from somebody else, and to love somebody else. There's the present sort of cultural conversation on MDMA is basically dominated, understandably, by the discussion of it for the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder and perhaps trauma in general. And understandably so, that's the main sort of like tract for the medicalization of MDMA at this time. And yet its origins really were rooted heavily in couples therapy. And
Yes.
there's a huge value to be had when that experience of love and connection that we're talking about that it can offer the self is also paired with a context wherein that experience is being shared with somebody who you have an intimate relationship with, be it one of romantic partnership or not. But explicitly, my curiosity is, what is the role of MDMA in relationships? What does working with MDMA in the context of being with your intimate partner offer the relationship?
Well, I consider MDMA to serve as emotional superglue for relationships, because one is, well, speaking for myself, Shelley and I, when we're high together with this medicine, are like we're attuned to each other to begin with, but now when we're high together, there's a chemical attunement as well. So a physical and emotional, heart-centered connection and attunement. So it bonds us on a whole other deeper level of intimacy, and has helped me accept her. I got to tell you that at first it was hard for me to accept Shelley into my life completely,
Mm-hmm.
because it was so easy to be with her. All she wanted to do was love me and make me happy. And she was doing so. But I thought, okay, that's great, but that's not what relationships are about.
They're about work.
Relationships relationships are about work and struggle and drama. And that's what my first marriage proved to me. So it was hard to accept that. Well, no, relationships can be about joy and play and love and fun and happiness.
Mm.
And it took me a while to believe it. MDMA helped me believe it, and she helped me believe it. So it was quite a revelation to me.
Mm-hmm.
And in so doing, I learned that joy, fun, and play can be in themselves transformational experiences, which in this culture we generally wouldn't think of it that way, because we tend to believe that those aspects of living are pretty frivolous.
Yeah, we're all living in a Protestant hangover.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, oh, please go ahead. You might have
No, go
something
ahead.
there.
No,
So
go ahead.
relationships are still work, and
Mhm.
and MDMA can provide a substantial benefit to that work. And I'm curious if you can comment on the role it can play in collectively in the partnership, in the couple, diving into revealing, exploring, extrapolating, or not extrapolating, excavating deep-seated patterns in oneself and in the relationships that are dysfunctional in a way that can create greater function. So the therapeutic elements that are present for the relationship itself.
I'm a psychotherapist, as you know, and half my practice is couples. And I focus on communication with couples.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I tell my couples is that, and by the way, I don't do medically assisted therapy. I wish I could. I could do 6 or 12 months of therapy in a day if I could use MDMA. but I'm scared of losing my licenses, so
Fair enough.
I don't use MDMA with my couples. I look forward to the day I can. But when it comes to communication, I tell my couples, if you want to be heard, listen. And if you give your partner the experience that you're listening to them, that you're receiving them, that you really care about what they have to say, then they will tend to listen back to you. So what does this have to do with MDMA? Well, MDMA opens our heart and deepens our ability to empathize and feel what it's like to be in the other person's shoes. So during a session, whether it's with a therapist or just two people on their own, if they know what they're doing, when they're on MDMA, they are more prone to receive their partner. And if there are issues that are hot button issues for them, they're more prone to listen to what their partners actually has to say, even though they might not agree with what they're saying, they might not like what they're saying, but they're more willing to listen to what their partner's saying and try their best to empathize, in this case, medically assisted ability to empathize and what it's like to be in their partner's shoes. And that can tend to take any argument down a notch and de-escalate what could turn into, of course, a big argument or fight. So that's one way that MDMA really helps couples connect and reconnect and reclaim the lost love sometimes that brought them together in the first place, that they sometimes have forgotten.
So what
busy, because they're too busy fighting and having a power struggle and all the other things that couples get engaged in.